Hi there, I'm the Critic Cat, and in this video we apply Blake Snyder's beat sheet from Save the Cat to the 2013 space suspense movie Gravity, directed by Alfonso Cuarón and written by him and his son Jonas. As Blake Snyder would say, let's beat it out. The movie opens with the subtitle, "Life in Space is Impossible." Without a spacesuit, obviously. The music reaches a dramatic crescendo, loud noises! Then stops as we cut to a satellite view of Earth. It's as if the sound had been sucked out of the universe. Pretty unsettling. The film doesn't stay silent for long. We slowly pan to a shuttle and a group of astronauts talking to each other through headsets as they repair a Hubble telescope. Matt Kowalski.
Mike Wazowski!
Sorry, boo, that's not how you pronounce it. Matt Kowalski, played by George Clooney, is the veteran leader of the Team Explorer. It's his last mission before he retires, and he seems to be making the most of the event, chatting away to his colleagues and whizzing about on his jetpack as if he were building a beach hut in the sun. Dr. Ryan Stone, played by Sandra Bullock, is a hard-working medical engineer, and as this is her first space mission, she's quite shaky.
Medical is asking if you want to return to Explorer.
Negative. We've been here a week, Houston. Let's just finish this.
The Explorer team has constant communication with Mission Control, voiced by Ed Harris. In the first few minutes, everything seems to be under control. This is all about Ryan's inner conflict. She doesn't give much away about herself until we get further into the film. All we know for now is that she's enjoying her time away from Earth.
So what do you like about being up here?
The silence. I could get used to it.
If you think about her reply for a moment, we have to wonder why she says she could get used to living and working in outer space. The obvious answer is, life on Earth has become hard. Why? We don't yet know. 7 minutes into the film, Mission Control announces to Team Explorer that a Russian missile has just struck an unusable satellite, which has created a cloud of debris in space. For now at least, it's not headed their way.
We'll keep you posted on any developments.
We get to this point when Ryan asks,
Should we be worried?
how should they prepare for a possible collision with the debris? Do they have time to finish what they're doing? It would seem Matt isn't particularly worried about it.
Well, let's let the boys down there worry for us.
Already we sense his confidence is about to put the whole team in danger. 2 minutes later, Mission Control orders Team Explorer.
Mission abort.
The debris is colliding with other satellites nearby and causing fresh debris to be sent in their direction. And it's moving at speed. The communication with Mission Control is cut short by the debris as it hurtles into the Explorer and telescope, catching the team by surprise. Ryan is ripped from the telescope and is sent flying through space and away from her team and planet Earth. This is where we explore the central premise of the film, how to use experience and imagination to survive in space. Just when Ryan thinks she's going to tumble in space till she loses consciousness, Matt comes to the rescue, wearing his propulsion backpack. He attaches her suit to his with a safety strap, and they travel back to the Explorer. What they find is not pretty. The telescope and shuttle are destroyed,
The damages to Explorer are catastrophic.
and it looks like there are no survivors on board, apart from Matt and Ryan.
Jesus Christ!
This is getting serious. So, they decide to set out for the International Space Station, or ISS, and use their evacuation pods to return to Earth. As the debris is travelling around the Earth's orbit, Matt estimates that they have 90 minutes before the debris returns to hit them again. It's going to be tight. Notice here, a ticking clock is introduced to keep the stakes high. They reach ISS and discover one capsule's left, but its parachutes have been released, which means it's of little use getting them back to Earth. Next problem, Matt's propulsion pack runs out of power. They try to grab onto the station, but they just keep bouncing around. Then Ryan gets her legs stuck in some parachute cords, and Matt finds himself holding onto Ryan by the safety strap on his suit. Ryan tries to haul Matt in, but the cords start to loosen. Realizing he's likely to take her with him at any second now, Matt makes the noble decision to detach his strap, and he drifts away to almost certain death, much to Ryan's dismay. Out in the distance, Matt uses the radio to guide Ryan. He advises Ryan to drive the capsule to Tiangong, a nearby Chinese space station that is likely to have a usable capsule. Ryan admits she's not a good driver, which further raises the stakes of making it back home alive. She's more interested in rescuing Matt, but he tells her,
Ryan, you're gonna have to learn to let go.
As the two survivors travel together, for a short period of time, we learn more about Ryan's character. While Matt sounds positive about returning to Earth, Ryan looks mournfully at the planet. Ryan talks about the one thing she left behind on Earth.
I had a daughter.
Her daughter tragically died at a young age. Since then, Ryan has become a shell. Her biggest conflict is she is figuratively and literally trying to run away from her past.
I just drive.
Where are you driving to?
I just drive.
This is the main reason why she's working in space. Going back to Earth would mean returning to her past and unbearable memories about her daughter. Usually this happens around the 55-minute mark in a 110-page script, but this film is shorter than the average film. It's just less than 90 minutes. The midpoint here comes 38 minutes into the film, when Ryan enters the ISS by airlock and is able to breathe freely. She and the audience can have a little break from this crazy ride. Getting back to the familiar routine of breathing feels like a rebirth to her. This being the midpoint, we know this respite is going to be very brief. Ryan uses the station comms in an attempt to contact Matt, but she gets no response. Ryan reluctantly announces to Mission Control, which is still inaccessible.
I, Ryan Stone, am the sole survivor of SDS-157.
There's no time for mourning though. A faulty fuse inside the ISS has started a fire. Ryan quickly gets into the remaining capsule and activates it. But her parachute cords get tangled to the station, and she's stuck.
Great.
Now in a new spacesuit, Ryan gets out of the capsule to disentangle the parachute cords. But uh-oh, the flying space junk is back and crashes into the ISS. It's another nightmarish ride for Ryan, but at least the debris cuts the capsule free from the parachutes. Ryan gets back in the capsule and aligns it with the Tiangong, but the engine has run out of fuel.
You gotta be kidding me!
In a desperate bid to find someone who can help, Ryan finds a communication link with an Eskimo fisherman called Aningak. But not surprisingly, this guy can make little sense of her call for help and is only able to entertain her by making dog imitations.
Ow! Ow!
As Ryan talks to the Eskimo, she hears the cries of his baby son. Despite living in impossibly freezing conditions, Aningak is happy, because he has his family by his side. Ryan starts to think about her own daughter, and finds a silver lining to her grim fate. She can soon see her daughter again, in some kind of afterlife. About an hour into the film, Ryan accepts her fate by lowering the oxygen levels. She crosses her arms and closes her eyes, as if lying in a coffin. But just as she's drifting off to sleep, a knock on the capsule door interrupts her. Matt is alive. What? Or so we think. He invites himself into the capsule and encourages Ryan to implement her skills and get moving. He tells her she'll need to use the landing jets. But Ryan doesn't want to move. Ever since her daughter died, she's felt there's nothing worth living for anymore. But Matt won't give up on her.
You gotta plant both your feet on the ground and start living life. It's time to go home.
At which point, Matt disappears and Ryan wakes up. It's all been a dream, but the message is all very real. Running from your past, even as far as outer space, isn't the answer. There is always a chance to start again and embrace a brighter future if you just show some courage. 66 minutes into the film, Ryan restores the oxygen and her will to live. Her conscience, embodied by Matt's ghost, has given her a way out and a way back to safety. Matt's wise words and Ryan's love for her daughter give her new strength.
You tell her that I'm not quitting.
She is ready for the big ride home. This is where the B story, charting Ryan's inner story, and the A story, her battle in space, intersect and help drive us toward a satisfying and predictable resolution. 70 minutes into the film, Ryan uses the landing jets to propel the capsule toward Tiangong. She exits the capsule and uses the fire extinguisher, Wall-E style, to board Tiangong just as the debris returns once again to ruin her day. She gets inside Tiangong and its escape pod and prepares to head for Earth. She then endures the fastest, most terrifying ride of her life through the Earth's atmosphere. The parachute is launched in time and the pod lands safely in water. The capsule sinks and Ryan swims to shore. She's made it. The afterlife she thought she was headed for can wait. She's finally back on firm ground, with gravity.
There it is! There it is!
She's like a person reborn, breathing air.